Mal got started with ASEA, really building about 3.5 years ago. Is that right, Mal?
No, about 4.5.
Oh, 4.5 years ago.
February 2016.
Awesome. And then within a really short amount of time, he has been able to go from, at that time, he won't mind me saying, he was bankrupt, he had really lost everything, to now being one of the most successful people with ASEA, ranked right at the very top for growth constantly every year, and realizing the dreams of so many people in his team, helping many people to grow, and in the process of doing so has developed a 7-figure cash flow. So I know for myself, when I'm wanting to achieve something, I'm going to go and reach out to somebody who's already done it rather than reinvent the wheel. And that's why Mal's in the hot seat. So welcome, Mal.
Thank you. Good to be with you, and good to be with everybody all over the world. So it's just interesting to see all the different locations of people all over the world. So for those of you who don't speak very good English, I will try and talk a little bit slowly because I generally talk quite fast. So I'm going to slow it down a bit. But welcome. Lovely to have you here.
Awesome. So let us know firstly, perhaps for those that maybe don't know you, a little bit about yourself, where you were at before ASEA and what drew you to ASEA.
So that could be a long answer. What drew me to ASEA was I had no option. It was more than that. It was from an initial contact back in 2014 when I met Virtus Norton for the first time, and I wasn't in the looking zone for a business at that stage when Danny and I first went there. But what I can tell everybody was my heart was drawn to doing business with Virtus Norton. My head said at the time that it couldn't. I was involved in another business. The timing wasn't right. Circumstances changed, and it forced me from not being in the looking zone into the looking zone. And so that was kind of late 2015, and then of course the company launched in Australia in 2016 February, and that's when I started the journey. But what was the other thing that was kind of important for people to understand was that I didn't have a lot of back doors. There was not very many other options that I had. I was at that stage considering driving for Uber, but my car was too old. So that kind of gives you a sense of where I was. When I started, I was not in a good place. So, and my early days with ASEA were not, you wouldn't say I was the fastest growing ASEA associate. I certainly wasn't, because I had to work on me again. So, but anyway, that's how I came. So I started February 2016.
And just briefly, why ASEA? Of the different opportunities, I know plenty of people had come to you constantly with different opportunities. Why this company? And
still do. I mean, I'm contacted constantly about lots of different things. So from a position of some experience, I've now had 28 years in the industry. There's a number of reasons why I see it. For me, one of the most, if not the most important reason that you would embark or engage in a company like ASEA or a business like this, a network marketing company, is to know who owns the company. You can have the best products. You can have, and I don't doubt there are many very good products. I know there are very many good products out there and a great compensation plan. But for me, one of the most important things is who owns the company. And being in business with Virtus Norton, Tyler Norton now, and the corporate executive team, I am 100% believer in who these people are. I trust them implicitly. And for me, that's a very important part of building a business. If you go on from that, we have a protected technology. We don't compete with anybody. It's an entrepreneur's dream, really, to have a technology that nobody competes with. We don't have competitors in this space. If you're in the super juice industry, and again, they're very good super juice, and there's 146 of them. That market is very crowded, very competitive. And with ASEA, we don't have any competition. Now, we do have to create the market. So there's pushback on that, of course, because it's new. People don't know about it. People are dubious. They don't know enough about it as yet. But on the flip side of that, we are in a very protected space. Compensation plan is incredible. So for me, it ticks every box. From 28 years of experience, and there's many other people on the call that are very well experienced, like Coppo, many people of Andy Leishman. 30-year veterans in the industry that would say the same thing, that for us that have been in the industry a long time, we'll never see another ASEA again. And we recognize it for that. And so it ticks every box. If I was to put all the list of the key features, ASEA, and I'm not saying it's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Nothing is perfect, but it's as close to perfect as that I've had in my now 40-year career in business. This is the most incredible opportunity that I've seen in my career so far. It's unbelievable.
It sure is, and we are seeing faster results for all those reasons you've mentioned. We are seeing consistently faster results in terms of income, in terms of growth, in terms of numbers in this company than you and I have ever seen in any other company we've been involved with, and we've known anyone else to be involved with. I mean, I don't know anyone that's achieved a 7-figure income in 3 to 4 years in another company. I really don't.
No, I think we need to be careful a little bit and with that, because I did come with 500 years of experience, and so can anybody do that? Yes, I believe anybody can, if they're prepared to work on themselves, probably as much as I worked on myself and still do work on myself. But can everybody do that in that short period of time? Well, look, the answer is probably not everybody can. No, let's put that on the table. But here's the thing: if it takes somebody 6 years to do it, is that okay? If it takes them 6.5 years, one of the questions people often ask me about, having success with ASEA is, what are my chances of being successful with ASEA and having a significant, even a 6-figure passive income? I said, well, maybe you want to ask the other question, or maybe I can ask you another question. What are your chances of doing that without ASEA? How have you gone so far given that you've been working 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? Have you been able to do that? So ASEA is not on trial. There's plenty of evidence for people that are making 6 and 7. I don't doubt 5 years there'll be people making 8 figures a year out of the ASEA business.
Oh.
It's really us. It's really about the individual who brings certain gifts, preparedness to change, resilience, guts, courage to the table when you build a business like this. Number one reason why people do well with a business like this is they know exactly what they're doing here. And they've got a very clearly defined reason, dream, passion, something they want badly enough, and you've got to be emotionally involved in that. It won't be a new washing machine or a new set of tires for your Volkswagen car. It's going to be something that's something of high emotion. And it needs to be that, if I could just share this with you, because when you build a business like this, it's naive to think that you're not going to deal with a lot of resistance from the market. You are. You're going to deal with a lot of people saying no to you. Still to this day, I have more people saying, and people, that I think sometimes people think when you get to a certain level, everybody says yes to me. Au contraire. I deal with more people saying, it doesn't change. They don't know what the level is. So, and it's the resilience to that builds a business like this, and other factors like discipline and focus and consistency. Those are the kind of things. Anyway, I'm kind of digressing, but
no, this is really good. And look, the reason why I mentioned what you've been able to achieve in the amount of time is because it's good to know what's possible, and it is exciting to know what's possible. Just before we jump into the nitty-gritty of contacting, can I ask you, because this is a question you were touching on then, what kind of people make it in ASEA? Can anyone really make it in ASEA, and what are the markers you look for in people who are successful in ASEA?
So the answer to the question is yes, everybody can make it. The struggle to build a business like this is an inside job. It's not an outside job. It never has been. It's always the individual. It's always what goes on inside that person that will determine whether they have success, whether you're experienced or not experienced. We have people that are ambassador diamonds with ASEA in this country that have had no network marketing experience. You don't need experience. There's 3 things I look for when I look for somebody to work with, or I'm going to invest my time with people. 3 things that I want to find. I want to find a why that makes them cry. Often I'll have people in tears, not intentionally, but what I do is I probe and ask, what is it you really want? What are you doing here? What is it that you want your life to look like? What is the emotional driver? that you want to have and to produce from a business like this. And I look for that. I ask and I dig to find an emotional response so that it's not, well, I want to be financially free. Being financially free means different things to different people. It's nondescript. The brain doesn't really understand what that means. I know what people are talking about. Really, being financially free is having more money coming in than going out, and it's passive. In other words, you've got a residual income that's coming in, and you've got a lot more money coming in on a monthly basis that's going out. You've got expenses of $5,000, you've got $50,000 a month coming in. You have a sense of financial freedom. You don't have a sense of financial freedom if you've got $50,000 a month coming in and 60 going out. And I've done that, maybe not to those figures, but you know, I've mismanaged money as well as anybody in the past. I've had to learn that lesson the hard way. But the first thing I look for is, do they have a dream? If I'm sitting down with somebody and I cannot find a dream, I'm probably not going far, unless I'm having a conversation about the product. So when I break the prospect base into two, people that just look for the product and then the business builders. For the business builders, I've got to find an emotional driver. I'm going to look for that. I'm going to work to understand so that I can help that person when he hits a wall, when she or he has a hard time. I'm going to take them back to the dream. That's the fuel in the tank. It's the emotional dream. It's not that these people are more resilient than those or anything like that, but they've got a very strong reason. Number two, are they coachable? Will they learn? Will they allow me to teach them and coach them? Now, if they're a brain surgeon, and I wanted to be a brain surgeon, I have to go and learn from somebody. But brain surgeons come into this business. This is a different craft to build a business. So I look for people who are prepared to learn and to be guided. Not that I have all the answers. I don't. I'm not saying I do, but I have some. I believe I can help people get to diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, probably through to ambassador triple I. I can't say I can help people go beyond that because I haven't done that myself. But I look for people that are coachable, people that are willing students, keen to learn and understand the process of change, of development. I happen to feel that we're in a people business. I happen to feel it's about personal development, self-mastery, dealing with all your stuff, your fears, your doubts, procrastination, working on your mindset, your belief, being coachable. I found people that are not coachable don't go far.
Yeah.
And sometimes they boomerang back. I let them go. They go and do their own thing. And sometimes they come back and sometimes they don't. And they say, oh, that business doesn't work. Well, it does work. If you allow yourself to be humbled, if you like. I'm still humbling myself to learn, to get around people that have learned more than I do. Always it's about the growth. The third thing is they're prepared to do some work. It's not a get rich quick. It's not, oh, well, I want to make $1 million a year by the end of 2020. It's like there's a process to this. One of the things I remember from somebody I worked with many years ago when I first joined the industry, I asked them why it took so long for them to get to a particular level. It happened to be diamond. And they looked at me and kind of smiled like, you really don't understand the process here yet. And he said to me, I grew as fast as I could grow. And there's your answer. How fast can we grow? How fast can we deal with ourselves? How fast can we take ourselves on to grow? But those are the three keys that I look for. Generally, they're going to be people that are from a self-employed background. So let me just say this. I remember another analogy that I was taught years ago. You might find a Tim Tam in a rubbish bin, but it's not the obvious place to look. We are looking for builders, entrepreneurs, visionary people, people that have got courage, people that have got stamina, resilience. They've got the resourcefulness. They're generally free enterprise thinkers. They're prepared to work. They understand the process of being diligent, working towards something. I like to find people that are in the ranks of self-employed. I also like to find people like me, and that is people that have lost everything, or at least have gone backwards a long, long way, but have the willingness and the spunk to come back one more time. And I really enjoy helping those people because I understand what it's like to be without hope. I understand where that place is, that dark place when you wonder, am I ever going to get out? Am I ever going to get back again? Am I ever going to be able to climb again? Am I ever going to be able to, have enough money to not have to worry about my rent or make a car payment or be able to upgrade my car so I can at least drive for Uber? When you're in your, like I was 60 something, 61 with nothing. It was like, it wasn't a good place to be, but then I had to take responsibility for that. So I created it, but I also then learned, well, if I create it, I can create something different. I can recreate, I can reinvent, I can change my thinking, change my life, change my world, change my processes, provided I was prepared to learn and grow and develop, learn and work on my mindset again and be coachable and learn and humble myself to people that have gone before me and that have got it right, or better than I had it anyway back then.
It really is the key, you know, unless somebody's really willing to absorb, it's just good information. And sometimes you have to hit a wall hard enough. And, you know, I went out and tried the business in my own way for a little while, stumbled around, and I thought, what am I trying to reinvent the wheel here? I've got people willing to help me. I just need to ask and then absorb. And it seems like an obvious thing, but very few people are truly students. A lot of people really resist the free access to mentorship here. And it's a shame. So I encourage you to really just open up. And
there's reasons for that. You know, there's ego. We've all got ego. There's ego. But when you've got no ego left, when you've got no pride left, I had all that stripped down. I lost everything. You know, I started my journey to 130,000. I had no place for pride. My ego was stripped down. I had nothing left. You know, it was all gone. So I was a blank canvas, and I had to recreate. You know, could I have done a faster job? Probably, but I stumbled as best I could. 2016, when I just started, it wasn't an easy journey. I was dealing with my own demons, my own doubts, my own fears about Mal. You know, here I was 61 and bankrupt. You can imagine how I was feeling. I wasn't feeling like, oh, I can see that I'm going to be, you know, triple ambassador. It was my biggest dream when I looked at ASEA back then was, I wonder if maybe one day, if, you know, God willing, if maybe I could just reach triple diamond. That was the biggest dream I could think of. And that was huge for me when I started and just wanting $100 a week. So, you know, it's a process. And the other thing is that people want to do is get around people that dream bigger than you do. There's one thing I see with a lot of people in ASEA, they don't dream build anywhere near enough. I've had this conversation with some of my key guys over the last few weeks. People do not dream build. I spend at least 1 hour every single day working on my dreams, my vision, my movie, the life that I want, creating a life every single day. It's not work. That is the fuel that grows your business, being able to live in the dream, being able to recreate a dream, a vision, something that you want in your life, that you're prepared to deal with the people that are going to tell you no, the resilience to that for your dream. And the dreams will change, they grow. That's why it needs constant attention, because they do change as you go. The dreams that I have today are very much different to the dreams that I have, you know, I had 4 years ago, for obvious reasons.